So we have internet historian, The Curse of the Olympic Flame.
Wow, okay, I'm going to be doing some real history for once.
Oh.
What's the meaning of this?
2,800 years ago, there were these guys called the Greeks. They're extinct now.
Yeah. Wait,
But
what?
when they were around, they invented the Olympics.
Let me touch it. No.
To start the games, they would take a bunch of virgins, not that kind, who would do
Nice.
a ceremony and light a torch using a curved mirror. That torch would light a cauldron, which would burn throughout the duration of the games. Which didn't go for very long, by the way. Back then, there were only about 4 events. Stick throw, heavy frisbee, wrestling.
Heavy frisbee, you mean... pause champ. Oh, hello. Discus. I was awful at discus. I couldn't get the throws right.
And a 4th thing.
Hole.
So you were done in about 45 minutes and back to the villa in time for a traditional taco dinner. But here's the important bit. The cauldron is tradition, but the torch relay is totally made up. It
Nice.
was invented in the 20th century for the 1936 Berlin Olympics.
This actually doesn't surprise me that this is a more modern invention, a more modern thing. It actually doesn't surprise me at all.
As a symbolic
It's marketing,
piece
right?
of Aryan propaganda for you-know-who.
We're going to see how YouTube likes this video.
And so ever since, it's been cursed. But wait, back to the thing. Because you probably...
I mean, honestly, did tacos... So here's the question. Did tacos even exist in ancient Greece? Because it depends on the origin of the taco, I guess. I don't know. I'm very curious about that now. I mean, obviously Taco Bell didn't exist. But I mean...
Probably wondering how the flame gets all the way from Greece to, say, Brazil with an open flame. Well, it goes by boat, bus, and plane, carried on 4 separate miner-style lamps. When it flies, it goes business class, by the way, on 2 separate flights.
Awful.
Cool, now you're up to speed, and I can start cataloging the Olympic curse. Let's start with Rio in 2016. A country so corrupt the gold medals are made of chocolate, and the chocolate medals are made of street crime. The lavish spending brought politics into the games, and it quickly became a cat and mouse game between security staff and protesters.
Yeah. I feel like I vaguely remember this. It was wild. Someone in chat says, imagine losing your business class seat to a lamp. Man, I know some moth VTubers would be all over that, though, to be fair.
Pelos homens da Força Nacional.
Nice. Dude, the legend hashtag accidents happen, my dude. Amazing. Awful, simply awful.
They also had a jaguar as a mascot, which got spooked, probably by the fire,
Yeah.
and then attacked one of the soldiers.
Yeah.
Jeez, bit me right in the face.
They shot it.
No. It's the low-key meme. What did you expect?
But this isn't the first instance of the Olympics killing animals. Seoul, 1988. To celebrate the occasion, they released 2,400 white pigeons into the stadium.
Oh, no.
A great idea on paper.
There's shit everywhere.
Then comes the Olympic flame. And here's the big ceremonial... Oh, no.
Oh, no.
People reported the smell of burnt pigeon for several days afterwards.
I don't know about
In
that.
2008, the curse came to Beijing. Here's the route. Starting in Greece with protests. Then in Kazakhstan, the
Uyghurs.
activists attempting
Whoa.
to disrupt, although they got arrested and deported back to China.
Nice.
Turkey, more of the same type of protesters and more of the same type of arrests.
You violated the law.
Russia, protests.
Yeah.
Then in Great Britain, the torch relay had to be detoured several times. By the time it was gone, there were over 70 arrests, and the mayor described the security team as a bunch of thugs.
So what you have to understand about the Olympics is that especially building the stadium, building the buildings, just getting everything built is incredibly taxing on a country's economy. I think it's Greece. Was Greece where where one of the ones in the mid 2000s was held? There's a thing regarding, I think it was Greece. It was a country, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it's Greece. But they had an issue where they just ran into financial issues. They ran into economic issues because they were pumping so much into the Olympic projects. Greece 2004, thank you for that, chat. They were pumping so much money into this that it affected them negatively. Ridiculous overspend. Oh, absolutely, yes. Because so it is a good way if you are looking at, trying to, market, if you will, your country. However, there is a significant investment that goes into this. And even then, what isn't the one in Rio like in shambles? Not because it's Rio, right? But because no one really uses the Olympic facilities after the Olympics, right? So there you'll see, I think Greece actually tries to upkeep theirs. I think in Rio, like stands and stuff are just falling apart and stuff like that. I definitely, as I always say, if this interests you, definitely go ahead and feel free to do more research or correct me in the comments if you do happen to know. Don't like misinformation. I do remember, at the very least, this is incredibly taxing on an economy of a country.
Also a protester with a fire extinguisher.
Nice.
France, more extinguishers and arrests. After 50 disruptions, they gave up and just hopped on the bus and left. Argentina, the flame was attacked with water balloons. Tanzania, no problems. Oman, no problem. India, more protests.
Yeah.
Thailand, more protests. Malaysia, more protests. Indonesia, more protests. Australia, more protests. Japan.
I mean, there could be an there could be an argument to even just end the Olympics at this point. Not for any political ideology, right? But just end it as in the Olympics, as far as I was aware and grew up with this ideology and understanding, and this could be wrong, so definitely correct me if I'm wrong, that the Olympics was meant for like the average individual, right? So if you have the US team, right, it's made up of your average US citizen, right, or someone that wanted to be in the Olympics, right? It's not, the original intent allegedly was not supposed to be, these professional teams, right? I don't know that is, I will acknowledge I have a gray area in my understanding of that. If this is true, since it has become nothing but professional athletes and stuff, there could be an argument to stop the Olympics altogether, especially due to economic and financial constraints. However, if it was always meant to be teams and professionals on the pro level, right? I mean, they could just televise it in a different way. They could spin it in different ways. I think that we are beyond the point, especially with how much economies have been disrupted over the past 3 years of spending billions, potentially even trillions now, actually, depending on inflation and how much things are, right? Because lumber is still through the roof. Lumber's never really recovered after 2008, actually, now that I think about it. Anyways, but I think we're past the point of lavish stadiums, and I think we could start to use different things as long as you can keep the flame run, whatever. I think that you could make solid arguments to keep or continue the Olympics, I feel.
And more protests. South Korea, more protests.
Reach.
North Korea, of course there were no protests in North Korea. Vietnam, protests. Hong Kong, protests. Macau, an arrest. And then finally to China, where the gods were so angry that the torch had made it, that an earthquake happened and 70,000 people died.
Fuck. That's bad.
Another thing that keeps going wrong with the torch relay is that they choose the wrong people to carry it. And then, when it arrives at the cauldron, it has a habit of going out. Montreal 1976 is considered the most disorganized Olympics ever. They had just finished building the stadium in time. Well, all except the roof.
Yeah.
So every time it rained, it went out.
Kind of love it, though.
Luckily, a well-meaning security guard was there to rekindle it with his lighter. Funnily enough, this isn't the first time that's happened. 2014, Sochi. He gets about 5 minutes in, and then...
Dead.
Whoops.
Dead.
It's gone out. So he marches over to this dude, who just gives it the old Montreal special. They later had to douse it and relight it with the official flame. Also
I love it.
Athens, in 2004, the official cauldron was snuffed out by a passing breeze. 2012, the London Games. A gust of wind blew out the flame during the opening ceremony in Olympia. Look at the panic on this woman's face.
What do? Oops.
In London, the rafting team here has got splashed.
Nice.
In Sydney in 2000,
I feel like there's a commentary that you can make on just humans and wanting to hold fire just from how we do the stupid Olympic runs and stuff.
Did they pick Senec as their mascot?
Oh my God,
Protesters
it
were
is.
there with a fire extinguisher, but failed. The ocean failed too. But
What?
your boy, Gust of Wind, did it again. Anyway, I think you get the point. That's about the end of the video.
Nice.
Except to say that it'll be interesting to watch out for Tokyo 2020. It promises to be one of the longest relays ever.
I actually don't remember how this went. It's been too long. I'll have to watch a bit on it.
Dab, 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 dab.
He
dab,
dabbing.
Dab, dab.
You dabbing.
Nice to meet you.
I love it.
You missed my. You missed.
It do be the Greeks, though. It
Please
do be.
stop.
It... Oh, it didn't happen, right? Okay. I wonder if the date got moved or if they just canceled the Tokyo Olympics. That was, oh God, that was amazing. I enjoyed that more than I should have. Like, Internet Historian continues to just put out the best stuff. I absolutely loved that. Like, that was. I have to do Olympic research. That's going to be a fun rabbit hole.